Okay, so Megan, she slyly put in Jordan Peterson, my favorite guy in the world. I've been following Jordan Peterson for many years. First noticed him when he was basically tried to get cancelled. They tried to cancel him because he refused to be forced to use pronouns, like to be legislated in Canada to have pronouns forced upon him. So he sort of stuck up for himself and got totally, totally tried to cancel him to the left. So let's have a look here. And I looked at for Jordan's reference, but it didn't come up. So she didn't actually mention Jordan Peterson, but we pretty much know that she was referring to him. Let's make myself a bit smaller there. All right, so let's have a look here. So I actually did a search up here, Control F on the Mac here, and I've looked for Peterson or Jordan, and it didn't come up. No matches found. So then I went for Control because I know the quote. It's you can't control a crazy woman, he says. So, and he gives reasons for it. So this is very interesting how Meghan, well, basically she plagiarizes everything. Like, I'm going to tell you exactly what the sources are, and I'll show you the sources. Meghan seems to try and claim things as her own, and doesn't really reference. There's no reference at the bottom of Archetypes. Nothing. It should surely she should reference everything and say, oh, this quote's from here, that's quotes from there. Nothing about. In fact, it says Archetypes is a Spotify original. Well, Megan's not an original, that's for sure. She's just plagiarizing everything. So let's have a look here. Well, let's dig into it. So she's saying a girl. So basically she plagiarizes everything. So she's saying about, oh, have you ever been called crazy or hysterical? What about nuts, insane? Well, nutmeg, out of your mind, completely irrational, blah blah blah. You get the point. We're all in the same room, etc., etc. Then she goes, I feel like you guys think we choose to be crazy, like it's an active choice. A girl is allowed to be crazy as long as she is equally hot. Well, she's totally plagiarized that, because I've known about the hot crazy matrix for many years, many years. So it's this famous hot crazy matrix. It's got like millions of views on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll find the original one. What happened there? So this is quite funny. They call it the no-go zone, where the girl is crazy, totally crazy, mega crazy, but not very hot, or like it. So you got the scale from 1 to 10 in the hotness, and then the crazy is in the y-axis. So you got the no-go zone where she's not very hot and she's totally crazy. Then you have the fun zone where she's moderately hot but moderately crazy. You got the date zone where she's really hot and she's under the threshold of crazy, which you can't handle. And then he's got another zone he goes into where she's totally, and the guy goes, man, I've met this girl. She's totally hot. She's amazing, totally amazing, and she's so chilled. You can't believe how chilled she is. He goes, dude, run, man. It's a dude. You're dating a guy. You're dating like a lady boy. So she's totally plagiarized that because, hey, I'm an experienced dude. I know where all these things come from. I've been around. So this one here, I don't think that men can control crazy women. Once again, she has plagiarized Jordan Peterson. And I think she's got a little bit of a thing against Jordan because I think Jordan criticized her a bit. So I won't play the clip because it'll probably get, content ID'd, but I can run through what he's saying here. He goes, I know how to stand up to a man who's unfairly trespassing against me. So next bit goes, here we go. Sorry. And the reason I know that is because the parameters for my resistance are quite well defined. So guys, we've got a system going, right? He goes, which is we talk, we argue, we push, then it becomes physical, right? There's a point where a guy will go, okay, I can't push this anymore because this is going to turn into a fist fight. These things don't exist with women. He's spot on, right? Like, if we move beyond the boundaries of civil discourse, we know what the next step is. Yeah, us guys, we all know what the next step is. He's totally correct. We know there's boundaries. These boundaries do not exist with women. This is causing a lot of problems. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So, and then he goes, okay, that's forbidden in discourse with women. Absolutely correct. And so I don't think that men can control crazy women. That's where Meghan got the saying from. And so I don't think that men can control crazy women. Totally plagiarized it. What did Meghan say? I don't think that men can control crazy women. Word for word, verbatim, she plagiarized it. Did not give Jordan any credit for it. The usual. She'll claim it as her own. Jordan Peterson, when's this video from? Well, it's at least 2017. It's got here October 4th, 2017. So it's 5 years old. All right. So then he goes on to, so he basically explains it. He's not saying that, it's not like the male patriarchy and we're trying to oppress women. We're trying to control them. It's like, we don't know how to stop a crazy woman from, just running amok in the world. And just causing mayhem. So that's what it says. He goes, I really don't believe it. I think they have to throw their hands up in what, it's not even disbelief, it's that cultural, there's no step forward that you can take under those circumstances. He's absolutely correct. Once you get a woman in a crazed state, you got to walk away and run away. You can't confront them. You can't confront them at all. It's forbidden. And rightly so. It's cowardly. It's cowardly, and we're physically bigger, and it's not a fair fight. If there ever was a fight, and I think the only circumstances where it'd be acceptable is if you had a knife and she's lunging towards you. I think you should be able to defend yourself there. And a lot of men have died that way as well, because they don't know at what point they know how they can defend themselves. So we've got a bit of body count happening there. Okay, so the other thing was when she was saying about a girl is allowed to be crazy as long as she's equally hot. All right, so it goes into a crazy hot matrix, and also it was on How I Met Your Mother, where he's drawing the hot crazy. So it's a bit of a scaled down version of the hot crazy matrix. This is a hot crazy graph. Whereas if the girl is totally crazy, she needs to be really hot to compensate for it. So Meghan's totally plagiarizing everything here. I make no claims to have invented these sayings, unlike her. She's claiming, just by omission. See, she lies by omission. She's very deceitful by omission. She doesn't sort of say, she doesn't say, I remember Jordan Peterson saying that, because she knows that that's going to be defamatory, but she just sneaks it in. Word for word, I don't think that men can control crazy women. She's saying word for word what Jordan Peterson said, but she will not mention him because she knows that is defamatory. That she's quoting him out of context, and I just can't. As soon as I heard this, I had a look to say, what was she saying about Jordan Peterson? I knew straight away that saying, because I've watched all his videos. So there we go, guys. Meghan is at it again, lying, deceitful, right there. Take me to court, Meghan. I've got the evidence. I'll show the judge. You'll get thrown out of court, and I'll make a lot of money. Do it. I dare you. Okay, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I'll see you next time. Cheers.